It's my favorite time of the month. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel Trishita Reads. I am Trishita and we have come to my favorite part of the month, that is I will be selecting my TBR for the month of September. I have my TBR jar with me and I will be selecting 10 prompts, and on the basis of that I will be choosing 10 books from my TBR, and let's start with the video. So first things first, let me give you a little update on my August reads, and I am currently reading A Court of Thorns and Roses, and I am listening to the dramatized version of the audiobook, and it is life changing. Trust me on this. I am loving the experience of the dramatized audiobook. I am loving this book so far. I am currently at page 80 and I am super confident that I will be finishing A Court of Thorns and Roses by the end of the month. But I failed miserably when it comes to finishing my August TBR, and I still have 4 books left in my TBR to finish. But I am also happy that I read books that are not a part of my TBR. This month, I felt like I want to do more mood read. I don't want to follow a TBR per se. I guess you can relate to me. So for now, I have decided that I won't be rolling those books over to my September TBR, because let's be realistic, I don't think that I will be able to finish 14 books and also have a little bit space for my mood reads. So we will stick to 10 new books for the month of September. Yes, I will try to read as much as I can before August ends, but I am not pressurizing myself, to be honest. So with that done, let's start and see what the first prompt is about. Here are all of my prompts and let's see. The first prompt is a second book in a series you have started. Okay. I have a few options. Wait, let me take those books out. In my physical TBR, I have 2 books that are the second book in a series. And the books I am talking about are Wildfire by Hannah Grace. I loved reading Icebreaker in the month of August, and I definitely will love to read Wildfire. And the next option I have is A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas. I am absolutely loving the story of A Court of Thorns and Roses. Yes, the dramatized audiobook is helping me a lot in liking the book, because it is definitely game changer, and I feel like I will enjoy reading this book too. So this book is also in my radar. And if I want to choose a Kindle Unlimited book, then I have Twisted Games by Anna Huang, which is the second book in the Twisted Love series. I have read Twisted Love a long time ago, but I did not end up picking the next book in the series. I don't know why I didn't end up picking the second book, so that's also in my radar. But I want to start the video with a physical book, and hence I have decided that I will read Wildfire by Hannah Grace. It only takes one spark. When Russ and Aurora cross paths at a university party, a drinking game ends, with them spending the night together. But Aurora slips away before Russ learns her full name. This anonymity ends when they both turn up to their first day of work as camp counselors, a job they had both chosen to escape Maple Hills for the summer. Given their history, there's still an obvious tension between the two, but the camp has a strict no staff fraternizing rule. Ross doesn't want to risk heading home early, but Aurora has never been one for rules. As things heat up, they will have to resist or risk starting something they just can't stop. This book sounds really interesting, and after reading Icebreaker, I absolutely fell in love with the writing of Hannah Grace, and I want to see what this book holds. And I'm super excited to read this book. Moving to the second prompt, we have, what do we have? A book that ends in an odd number of pages. Okay, it's a very interesting prompt. Let me check how many pages A Court of Mist and Fury has, and if it has odd number of pages, then I will straight pick this book up. Wait, hopefully I don't see any spoilers. Hopefully I don't. Oh no, the last page is 624. Unfortunately, I cannot pick that. It's an even number. Let me check. Let me have a few options. I got the first book. The book has 369 pages. Hopefully, my camera can focus and hopefully, you can see. The book I'm talking about is How to Kill Men by Katie Brent. I feel like I don't want to go for any other options. I have been eyeing on this book for a long time, and this is a sign from God that I should read this book, so I will be sticking with this one only. Meet Kitty Collins, friend, lover, killer. He was following me. That guy from the nightclub who wouldn't leave me alone. I hadn't intended to kill him, of course, but I wasn't sorry when I did, and despite the mess I made, I appeared to get away with it. That's where my addiction started. I have got a taste for revenge, and quite frankly, I am killing it. A deliciously dark, hilariously twisted story about friendship, love, and murder. What more do I want from a book? And since rainy season has started, I think it is the perfect time to start a good thriller. I am so happy that I am finally getting a chance to read this book, and this book is definitely on my priority list when it comes to all of the books in September. Coming to the third prompt, we have, what do we have? A book set with golden or silver lettering on the cover. Okay. Let me check. Let me check. The first option I have is the Whisper Wicks. It has golden lettering on the cover. I do have Stolen Air, but I don't think it should be considered as golden lettering because the letters are written in black and they have golden borders, if you can see. The next book that can be an option in this is The Iron Raven by Julie Kagawa. It has golden lettering. I don't think that I have any book that has a title written in silver. I checked my whole shelf and I have only two options, The Whisper Wicks and The Iron Raven. This is a young adult fantasy and this is an adult fantasy, and I think I will be going for The Whisper Wicks. This book has such beautiful illustrations like these, and since this is a children's fiction, the font size is also super large, which I absolutely love. And let me tell you the story of the book. Benjamin takes a breath, feeling the cold air thread into his chest. This was happening. He was really here. But where was here? 11-year-old Benjamin Creek believes in science, logic, and the power of reason. He definitely does not believe in magic. But when he receives a mysterious gift in the post, a doll that can transform into a bird, he is led into the impossible and most definitely magical world of Redden World, where dark secrets are lost amongst a vast labyrinth of streets. Benjamin soon finds himself swept along with a dangerous quest led by a fierce and brilliant Isabella, who is determined to solve the disappearance of her missing brother. Will Benjamin ever find his way home and discover his puzzling connection with this strange enchanted world? This book is slightly giving me Harry Potter vibes, slightly. But I am super excited to read a children fiction after a long time. Plus, the cover of this book is really interesting. Super happy that I got to pick this book up. The fourth prompt, here we go. We have an author's debut novel. Another scavenger hunt. Let's begin. I have got a really interesting book. I cannot even believe that this was the debut novel of the author, and I recently got this book, and I'm so freaking excited to read this book. I don't want to look at any options. I will go for this book only. Wait, let me show you. The book that I will be going for as the debut novel of an author is The Rosable Line by Ashwin Sanghi. This book was released in 2007, and I have heard so many good things about this book. I am so freaking excited to start this book. Not gonna lie, I feel like I don't want to read any other book right now and just start this one. A cardboard box is found on a shelf in a London library. When the mystified librarian opens it, she screams before she falls unconscious to the floor. Within the labyrinthine recesses of the Vatican, a beautiful assassin swears she will eliminate all who do not believe in her twisted credo. An elite army of 13 calling itself Lakshar-e-Talatashar has scattered around the globe. The fate of its members curiously resembles that of Christ and his apostles. Their agenda is Armageddon. A Hindu astrologer spots an approaching conjunction of the stars and nods to himself in grim realization of the end of the world. In Tibet, a group of Buddhist monks searches for a reincarnation, much in the way their ancestors searched Judea for the Son of God. In strife-torn Kashmir, a tomb called Rosabal holds the key to a riddle that arises in Jerusalem and gets answered in Vaishno Devi. An American priest has disturbing visions of people familiar to him, except that they seem located in other ages. Induced into past life regressions, he goes to India to piece together the violent images. Shadowing his move is the Crux Decusta Permuta, a clandestine society which would rather wipe out creation than allow an ancient society to be dissolved. In the Rosabal Line, a thriller swirling between continents and centuries, Ashwin Sanghi traces a pattern that curves backwards to the violent birth of religion itself. I didn't realize that this was beyond Hinduism. I mean, it has elements of Christianity as well, and I am super excited. I am so freaking excited to read this book. We are halfway through the prompt, and here's the fifth prompt. We have highly anticipated I'm a bit confused. For now, since I am reading A Court of Thorns and Roses and I am really liking it, I feel like A Court of Mist and Fury is one of my highly anticipated books. Plus, I also have one other option. I got my first ever Riley Sager book, and the book's name is The Only One Left. And I have heard so much about the beautiful writing of Riley Sager that I am also highly anticipating that this book will be a great read. But I also feel like I want to continue with A Court of Thorns and Roses series, so I think I will take A Court of Mist and Fury. Should I read the blurb of this book? I don't think so, because one, it will be considered as a spoiler for me, and second, to those people who still have not started reading Akotar series, but I'm really excited to continue with the series in the month of September. Coming to the sixth prompt, we have, what do we have? Author you disliked. I think I have a perfect book for this prompt, but I did not dislike the author. Let me show you which book I am talking about. The author I am talking about is Holly Jackson. I recently finished reading A Good Girl's Guide to Murder series, and I did not dislike the author per se. I really love her writing style. I really love the way she puts all the twists and turns and how she makes the characters dark. But according to the hype of the book, I did not see that A Good Girl's Guide to Murder series was of that level to be considered as one of the best thrillers. So I am thinking that I will be picking either Killjoy by Holly Jackson, or I will be The Reappearance of Rachel Price by Holly Jackson. Keeping in mind that I recently unhauled a lot of books, I don't have any books by an author that I actually dislike, so I will be doing a little bit of cheating and I will be choosing Killjoy by Holly Jackson. This is first of all a very thin book, plus I have heard that this book is related to the A Good Girl's Guide to Murder series world, so I feel like I should finish this book up before starting The Reappearance of Rachel Price. Pippa Fitzimobi is not looking forward to her friend's 1920s themed murder mystery party. But when the game begins, Pip finds herself drawn into the make-believe world of intrigue, deception, and murder. As Pip plays detective, teasing out the identity of the killer clue by clue, the murder of the fictional Reginald Remy isn't the only case on her mind. Find out where it all began in this prequel to the best-selling, award-winning A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. Okay, this book is the prequel to A Good Girl's Guide to Murder series, and I would really like to see where all of the things started, how Pip got interested in solving cases. I think that this book will give a breather to my TBR. Coming to the seventh prompt, we have last book you bought. Okay. There are two books that I bought recently, and the first book is It's Complicated by Emma Hughes and Set in Stone by Stella Brinzanu. And I feel like I will be going for Set in Stone because look how pretty the cover is. Plus, I feel like I already have a romance novel in my TBR and I really want to read this book as well. So I will be picking this one. In medieval Moldova, two women from opposing backgrounds fall in love. But this is a world where women's role is defined by religion and class. To make a life together means defying their families, the law, and the church. The closer they become and the more they refuse the roles assigned to them, the more sacrifices they have to make. While Mira's rebellion puts her life in the gravest danger, Elena must fight to change her legal status to son so she can inherit her father's land and change their destiny. Seems like a really good plus very unique story, and I am so excited to see and read how the author has portrayed these two strong female characters in the story. Now, coming to the eighth prompt, we have 10th book on your shelf. Okay. From where should I start counting? I feel like I should start counting from this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10th, we have a classic, 1984 by George Orwell. And this is a beautiful edition of 1984 with gold edges. And I got this as a gift from my boyfriend. So I think he will be really happy that I am finally picking this book up. I'm a little bit scared, not gonna lie, but I have heard a lot of good things about this book and how it was so progressive with respect to the time when it was written. This follows a dystopian world, and I am so happy that I got to pick this book up. Power is in tearing human minds to pieces and putting them together again in new shapes of your own choosing. Let me check the blurb of the book in Google because in this edition the blurb is not available. 1984, a novel, unleashes a unique plot as per which no one is safe or free. No place is safe to run or even hide from a dominating party leader, Big Brother, who is considered equal to God. This is a situation where everything is owned by the state. The world was seeing the ruins of World War II. Leaders such as Hitler, Stalin, and Mussolini prevailed during this phase. Big Brother is always watching your actions. He even controls everyone's feelings of love to live and to discover. The basic plot of this historical novel revolves around the concept that no one has freedom to live life on his or her own terms. The present day is 1984. The whole world is gradually changing. The nation which enjoys freedom have distorted into unpleasant and degraded places, in turn creating a powerful cartel known as Oceania. This is the world where the Big Brother controls everything. There is another character, Winston Smith, who is leading a normal layman life under these harsh circumstances through hating all of this. He works on writing the old newspaper articles in order to make history or past relevant to today's party line. He is efficient enough in spite of hating his bosses. Julia, a young girl who is morally very rigid, comes into the fore. She too hates the system as much as Winston does. Gradually, they get into an affair but have to conceal their feelings for each other as it will not be acceptable by Big Brother. In Big Brother's bad world, freedom is slavery and ignorance is strength. Doesn't it sound like the world we are living in right now? Doesn't it? This book definitely will be a heavy read. Plus, I think I will absolutely love reading this book because of the current circumstances Kolkata is going through. I think that I will be able to relate with this book so much. And because of that, with a heavy heart, but also a feeling of excitement, I'm saying that I think, enjoy reading this book. Coming to the ninth prompt, that is the second last prompt, we have what do we have? A book by a male author. I think I will go with The Only One Left by Riley Sager because I cannot control myself. I have wanted to read his book for a very long time, and this I think was the sign. I will go for The Only One Left. Everyone believes that Lenora Hope is a mass murderer. When Hope's family was massacred decades ago, she was the only one left alive after that tragic night. Mute, paralyzed, and confined to a wheelchair, Lenora has never been able to tell her side of the story until her new living caregiver, Kit, brings her a typewriter. And with one working finger, Lenora begins to type, I want to tell you everything. Oh my god. I am getting goosebumps literally right now reading the blurb of this book. Literal goosebumps. I will be cherishing this TBR jar because it has done so good to me. So happy that I got to choose this book finally. Now, coming to the last prompt for the month of September, we have what do we have? A book with ocean or another body of water. I have three options. The first one is This Summer's Secret, where the woman is literally swimming, and I feel like it's ocean or something similar to ocean. The second option I have is Summer Blue Bird, where there is a wave and beautiful birds. And the third option is The Murder Game, where here is an ocean and there is a mansion beside the ocean. I feel like I'm not in a mood to read this book right now, so I think I will be picking The Murder Game by Tom Hindle. How am I telling that this book has an ocean in it? Because we have a lighthouse. We have a lighthouse and we only have lighthouses near oceans. So I feel like I have fulfilled the prompt. Plus, I am also really excited to read this book in the seaside town. In the seaside town of Hamlet Wake, 9 guests assemble for a New Year's Eve party to remember. The owner of Hamlet Hall has organized a murder mystery evening with a 1920s twist, and everyone has their own part to play. But the game has barely begun when one guest is found dead, killed by a fatal injury to the head. With no phone signal and no way out of the house, the others are trapped with a killer in their midst. Someone is playing by their own rules, and in a close knit community, old rivalries run deep. Sounds like a really good mystery, and I feel like my rainy season is going to be really amazing because this month's TBR has a lot of really good thrillers that I'm super excited to read about, and I am so freaking happy because I love thrillers. I got a selection of really good books. These are all of the books that I will be reading in the month of September, and let me give you a small glimpse of all of the books that I selected. The first prompt was a second book in a series you have started, and I chose Wildfire by Hannah Grace. The second prompt was a book that ends in an odd number of pages, and I chose How to Kill Men and Get Away with It by Katie Brent. The third prompt was a book set with golden or silver lettering on the cover, and I chose The Whisper Wakes by Jordan Lees. The fourth prompt was an author's debut novel, and I chose The Razobal Line by Ashwin Sanghi. The fifth prompt was highly anticipated, and I ended up choosing A Code of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas. The sixth prompt was an author you disliked, and I ended up choosing Killjoy by Holly Jackson. Even though I don't hate Holly Jackson, but I did not end up liking A Good Girl's Guide to Murder series that much, hence chose this book. The seventh prompt was recent purchase, and I ended up choosing Set in Stone. The eighth prompt was the 10th book on your shelf, and I ended up choosing 1984 by George Orwell. The ninth prompt was a book by a male author, and I ended up choosing The Only One Left by Riley Sager. And the 10th prompt was a book with ocean or another body of water, and I ended up choosing The Murder Game by Tom Hindle. My TBR, even though looks a bit chunky, but I am really excited to read each and every one of them, from dark, twisty, gripping thrillers to cute, fluffy romances to fairies and fantasies to a beautiful classic. This TBR has everything, and I cannot wait for September to start. So that's it, guys. This is my TBR for the month of September. Do let me know in the comments down below which books you are interested in reading in the month of September. Thank you so very much for watching this video and showing so much love to all of my videos. I'm really, really grateful. If you have not done already, please go and subscribe to my channel. It really motivates me a lot to create more bookish content. And I will see you guys in the next video, hopefully a reading vlog, because I have not done a reading vlog for quite some time. I have been feeling lazy. Stay hydrated, pick your book up, start reading, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.